Flint and steel fire. Let's talk about it, and I'll show you my attempt at it. What's up, YouTube? PA Outdoors here. Excuse me. So, you're out in the outdoors, it's time to build a fire. A campfire, a survival fire, whatever. What are you going to use? Probably a lighter. I would guess that would be most people's first go-to fire starting implement. Matches? Yeah, great choice. Absolutely. Sure flame. You flick the bic, you light the lighter, you got a flame. Now, most of us, because we like to be all cool, ferro rod. Yep, this is a 6" by 1/2" ferro rod. This is what everyone seems to like. So those are probably your three go-to, survival or just camping fire starting tools. And I would 100% agree. There are a couple other methods, and one that I have just started to play around with as a hobby more than anything. And that is flint and steel. It goes back, pounding two rocks together, that goes back centuries and centuries. Making a fire with flint and steel. Before the advent of matches, oil lighter. I'm not sure which came first. I almost think the lighter came before the matches, but I'm not sure. I'm sure someone out there does know. So you can rub two sticks together, or you bang two rocks together. You bang some sort of high carbon piece of steel against a very sharp and brittle rock. And what happens is the rock is actually shaving pieces of the steel off. And they're coming off of there at, I don't know the numbers, 300, 500 degrees. It's a much, much cooler spark than a ferro rod. And that's why you just can't, throw some sparks onto some tinder and expect to get a big burst of flame. Maybe that happens in the movies. I know it happens in cartoons. I've seen it. So you need to use, in most cases, some sort of char material. A piece of char cloth, a charred end on a lamp wick, and the idea is you're going to hold this as close to where you're going to strike as possible, and you're going to strike, and you get some sparks. And what the hope is that a spark is going to land on the char material. Lamp wick's a little harder from what I've done. Char cloth is much easier because you have a much larger surface area for a spark to land anywhere on this, and then you toss it into a bird's nest and you blow it into flame. I'm a newbie at this, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to film, it's not my first attempt. I've attempted it a couple times. I've made a couple fires. And so far, and in the video that I'm going to run here, I've used jute twine as my bird's nest. This is more of a, I don't want to say guaranteed, but it's more of a foolproof method. I'm not trying to find dried grasses or, make sure it's 100% dead and dry and trying to make a super fancy bird nest. You can just peel this apart, start pulling off all the strands and getting it as fluffy and as fibrous as you can. And, it's going to take an ember. I mean, if you puff this up, you could hit it with a ferro rod and it'll go right up in flames. So kind of more of a training tool. I mean, I would definitely use this and take this with me if I had to. If I'm using this as a survival fire starter, where everything else has failed, I'm not taking this stuff in a survival kit. So if this is my method, I'm trying to find a rock that has metal in it and a piece of flint. I don't even want to imagine that. So let's show you this footage. All right, got my piece of char on top of my flint. got my striker, and the idea is the flint is actually going to shave metal off of the striker. It's not the other way around. Let's see here. Oh, I got one. Not much. I got one. There we go. Let's see if we get this to catch. There we go. Oh, yeah? Yeah, there you go. Got it. That's flint and steel. Good piece of high carbon flint or steel. Good piece of sharp flint. It's got to have some good edges on it. And char cloth. And there you have it. Flint and steel fire. Pretty cool. Well, there you go. In filming, that was what I showed was actually my second attempt. I got a spark on my first attempt. I got a spark onto the char cloth, no problem. Couple of scrapes, and I got it. I just had a hard time getting the bird's nest to catch flame. What I showed you was the second attempt, no problems. It's fun. For me, it's a hobby. Like I said, I don't plan on relying on this to make my fires. Feral Woodcraft has actually issued a challenge to another channel. I think for the next 30 days, every fire you make, he's challenging to use a flint and steel. That sounds really cool. I'm not doing it. Well, there you go. Thank you for watching. This is PA Outdoors. Get outdoors, enjoy yourself, but remember, be safe out there. Thanks for watching.